Hey, this is Dan from Fisher Jeep Adventures, and today I thought we'd go over a review of our Milestar Patagonia tires. So I have about 17,500 miles on these tires. I put them on before we did any of the modifications, or right after we did the modifications to the Jeep. And these tires have been everywhere. They've been in the mountains of Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, and all the way out to Colorado and Utah. I'm going to show you a few clips of where we've been with these tires, just so you have an idea of where these tires have taken the Jeep. somewhere in the neighborhood of about 7,000 of those 17,000 miles have all been off-road. And I've got a series of videos on the channel that kind of have shown, you know, where we've taken it and where we've taken the Jeep and how these tires have done. And you know, for me, overall, the tires have been a great addition to the Jeep. So not only are they inexpensive from a cost standpoint compared to other 35-inch tires, but they also have excellent traction in all of the areas that I've taken the Jeep. So, you know, it's been they've been so from that perspective, I'm really happy with the tires. Now, I run a full 5-tire rotation, so we have rotated the tires every 5,000 to 6,000 miles. So I've done 3 rotations on these tires since they've been on the Jeep. The last of which was when we got back home from Colorado last summer. And a couple things I've noticed, they wear pretty evenly. So I have an X pattern rotation, which is a standard kind of tire rotation for tires, and that has kept the tread pretty flat across all of the tread blocks. And I guess my Jeep is aligned well, so I don't have cupping or any of the other issues that sometimes you can see with lug tires. So I'm really happy with how they've worn, and they've held up pretty well to all of the different environments that we put them in, from sand to just dirt paths to rocks to shale roads. You know, particularly when we were in Colorado doing some of the high mountain passes, some of those roads are nothing but sharp rocks, and the tires held up pretty well. And so we'll do a quick walk around here in a second. Fortunately, you know, given all of the places that we've been and all of the environments that these tires have taken us to, we haven't had any tire failures. So I haven't had a puncture, I haven't had a sidewall cut, I haven't had any issues at all. Part of that, I think, is running the proper tire pressure for the environment that you're in. But at the same time, you just have to be cognizant of where you are. All right, so we'll take a look at the spare first. You can see how everything is even. And like I said, the tread isn't worn much, so it's held up really well. The outside of the sidewall also has done well. Now, there are some chunks in some of these edge bites, and you can see where some of the rubber has been cut off here. Every once in a while, you'll see a lug that's got a piece where a piece of rubber, you know, has pulled out or gotten separated, but the tires overall are in really great shape. So here's another instance where you have a piece of rubber that's come out of it, but it hasn't affected the tire really at all. So I'm really happy with how they've turned out. So one thing that has changed is these tires have gotten louder the more tread that has worn off. And I read that in a few reviews before I bought them, just to pay attention that these tires have a tendency to get louder the more that they've worn down. And that has certainly been the case with the tires that I have. You can really tell a difference, you know, after 10,000 miles, and they just have steadily, it's not super loud, but it is noticeably louder than it was before. So I am, like I said, super happy with the performance of these tires. This Jeep has been all over the country, and we've gone through a bunch of different rugged terrains. Like I said, I got a bunch of videos that kind of demonstrate where we've been, so if you want to check that out. But super happy. They're great on the road. They're excellent off-road in mud, in sand, and rain. The only thing I haven't really had a lot of experience with is snow. So I just haven't been out when there's been a lot of snow. I had one time where I was driving where there was a little bit of snow, but other than that, I really don't have any experience. Because of that, I don't have a good review of how they do in the snow, but in all of the other things, I've been super happy. The only other thing I would say is that the stone ejectors work on the big side, but on the main lugs themselves, sometimes you get stones plucked in there and you got to take a screwdriver and pop them out. So that's my 17,500 mile review of my Milestar Patagonia MTs. They've been a great tire, and I'm really happy with them. The only complaint I have is that they've gotten a little louder than they were when we first got them. But other than that, they've been a great tire. So if you're in the market for a mud tire and you want one that has the look that the Milestar does and the price point that they have, I recommend them. I mean, they're a great tire. If you follow any of the Matt's off-road recovery stuff out west in Utah, he runs them exclusively on all of his stuff. Now, a lot of his vehicles run strictly in the sand and in the red rock shale, but those tires are, I mean, he swears by them, and I think they're a great tire. So hope you guys got something from that. Again, it was just a quick review, and I don't have much to show aside from they've been good for me to this point, and hopefully they'll continue to do that for the next 25,000 miles. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment, ask a question. Please subscribe if you haven't. This video, we are like 8 subscribers from hitting 1,000. So please help us out. You know, it'd be great to get to 1,000 and have some of the content that we have get shared more, because it just gets us to another level of getting our videos out there. All the comments that we have are really positive about the stuff that we've done, and we're going to continue to make some more content as the summer goes on, and hopefully go on a couple trips. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.